We are back. Okay, let's see. I'm going to wait for the stream to appear on the on YouTube just to make sure everybody can see what we're talking about. It's going to take a second for everything to get caught back up. Okay, so you can see it on the stream now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, if you're listening to me and not the stream, right?
Yeah.
Because the stream's going to be going to have a delay on it.
Right.
Okay, for some reason I couldn't get the green screen to work. I don't know what's going on. When I turned the green screen on, it made me invisible too, which is not the way the system's supposed to work. So I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. But we're just going to ignore that. And I just want to say welcome everybody to Filling the Void. Been a long time since we've had our last episode, and I've got Aaron with me. Aaron's part of the First Naval Air Squadron, and um, we are in the process of recruiting. But Aaron, I want to ask you, like, if in the last couple of months, what have you been doing for Star City?
Work, work, work. Seriously. That's it. I've just been a work hound all summer.
Wow.
I haven't been doing much of anything. I've been alpha testing a few games, but
Right.
mostly I've been working 7 days a week.
Right. Right. Well, we had an opportunity the other night to fly a little bit in War Thunder. We played a little War Thunder.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about us because we've got a lot to talk about in this show. This is going to go on for maybe an hour and a half. So I want to kind of just, um, you know, hit it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is something came up in the stream, and uh, for those of you that are for those of you that are watching this video for the first time or just now joining us, I wanted to let you know we're going to show a little bit of the videos from the presentation, and then we're going to talk about the presentation, right? So uh, the first thing I want to say is I did not know that Sandy was married to Chris Roberts.
Neither did I.
Yeah, when she said that she was his wife, I was like mind blown. You know, I thought he had a wife at home, somewhere in Canada or whatever. I thought he had, or since he moved to LA, figured, because he used to be in Austin, but I was like, and I thought Sandy was somebody that he hired because of her
Marketing skills.
marketing skills and her knowledge of modeling or whatever and stuff like that. And I didn't realize that that she was his wife. That just surprised me. And she made a comment like, "It's no secret." Well, apparently it was, or at least I wasn't paying attention. One or the other.
Same here. Totally missed that one.
Now, the next thing is during the presentation there was a retrospective where they went through the last 3 years, and they talked about how how they gotten to their place right now, right? And I made a comment last year at the last Citizen Con about how they spent like 15 minutes on their retrospective and how long it was. Where on this one it was really short and sweet. They just boom, boom, boom. This is what happened. This is how we got here. And like 2 minutes later, boom, it was done.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, they heard our complaints from last year, you know, and I kind of appreciate that because I think that they know that they had a lot of information to put out, and they didn't want to take up people's time by uh, talking about stuff that's all over with. You know, you agree with that?
Very much so.
Okay,
It was just short, sweet, flash in here, flash out there, done.
right, right, exactly. Okay, so now my first. Okay, now I recorded the video since the very beginning, where people were milling about. And, it was before the even show had even started. They were testing the stuff. So my timeline might be different than someone else's timeline, or like the official timeline on the website or whatever. But this is the timeline of the video that I have recorded. And at 29 minutes into my recording, let me get to 29 minutes. I'm at 29. Okay, that's almost perfect. What I'm going to do, every time I let go, it goes to 29:05. Screw it. We'll just go to 28. Okay. And so I'm gonna show this video, and what Chris talks about is the size of the world, or the size of the Star Citizen Alpha 2.0, right? That we're gonna get to play here real soon. All right, so let me switch the monitors. Now, are you able to? No, you're not. So here we go. I'm going to do something for you. There should be a way for me to share a screen. Where'd you go? There you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, so you can see that screen, right?
Right.
Okay, so you can see it, and you might not be able to hear it. I'm not sure. So, you whatever. So here we go.
The large world map that we're currently using is 1 million kilometers by 1 million kilometers by 200 kilometers high. So that's, well, if you just want to talk about square area, it's about a trillion kilometers. And if you want to actually talk about the overall volume, what was it? 200 quadrillion kilometers. So to give you an idea, I think we were trying to figure out other games. The biggest game that we could find online that was said was the Elder Scrolls 2, which is meant to have 161,000 kilometer square map. And then there was Lord of the Rings, which I think 71,000 kilometer square map. And Skyrim's actually smaller than those. So in terms of layout and area, that's why we have the large world, is so we can put huge areas in them and play solar systems. I do realize that a full solar system's much bigger than 1 million kilometers wide, although on some level we'll do some compression of play spaces, because you don't want to be, even at 0.2 speed of light, you don't want to be sitting for 3 hours like in quantum travel.
All right, so 1 million kilometers. That's a billion, right? That's a billion meters or whatever.
Yeah.
So, what, 1 million kilometers by 1 million kilometers by 200,000 kilometers high? That's a pretty big area.
200 quadrillion is what they said.
Right. Yeah, that's we should have not a problem flying around and probably not running into each other.
Yeah, I'm
But
not too worried of getting that little red message that I usually get in the training arenas. Turn around, you're about to leave the training area.
or you're probably not going to run into an asteroid, unless of course you'd like fly into an asteroid belt or something. But my understanding is the map is around the Crusader, the gas giant, and the moons and the space stations all around that area.
Right,
Um, Now he mentioned that we can do FPS, so we're going to be able to get have pull our guns out and shoot each other. We're going to be
right.
able to do EVA, so we're going to be able to get out of the ship and float around and do stuff. We're going to, of course, have the dogfighting in the space. We're going to be able to do missions, so we're going to be able to go. Uh, and I think he said 38 missions were available.
38 missions are up and ready for us to start.
Right. And there's going to be a social aspect, which I think that just means uh, our friends are going to be in the same map with us, and we might meet other people flying around. Multi crew has got to work because you got the constellation and whatever.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so multi crew's working. Uh, all that's working, and it's gonna be coming out soon. What'd you think of that?
I thought it was pretty cool. The one that got me worried was they showed the security post, or the FPS where they went to the FPS location.
Yeah, where I'm getting ready to talk about that next, actually.
Okay,
The
but yeah,
points of
it
interest.
was lots of interesting things out there for what we're going to be able to start off in this 2.0. And
Susan, is that what you said?
yeah, she's a little late. I told her by 7. Anyways, I can't wait for it. I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, me too. I want to show the next portion of the video because he talks about the different main areas, but then he also shows like someone spawning and them getting out and doing a few things.
Well,
Um,
yeah, that's the beginning of the show. Basically, somebody spawns. There's 3 others there, and the 4 of them go off and
and do
they
their
get
thing.
their ship and they start flying around, and it's pretty
But
cool.
still
It's
very,
pretty
very
cool.
big.
Right. So
Check
I'm
out
trying
maybe,
to advance this a little
and
bit so that you can.
we've got those 3 of light. You don't want to be sitting for 3 hours like in quantum travel. But we're definitely, I mean, we have the Carvelex shipping hub where you can go and get,
Yeah, Kovalik Shipping Hub, the security post, Corée.
check out,
Uh-huh.
maybe find
Alisar is where we spawn in.
some items or modes. Precision maneuvering, which
The
is the low speed.
IFCS's changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm skipping past that though.
There you go. That's where they're selecting their ship. So there's the spawn.
Right.
We're
You've
gonna head for
got.
the atrium.
They said there were so many bunks. I don't remember how many they said. 40 something bunks or whatever. 60,
Um,
60 or 40 staterooms that when you spawn in,
yeah,
you
I'm
could be
trying to
on any one
remember
of
what
them.
he said now.
It's
Shoot,
it's
I
not that
forgot.
important. It's not that important. I'm just saying on this space station there's a lot of rooms,
Right.
and you basically go to the control room and you call up your ship. A lot like what you do in your hangar. You know, when you go to the way we used to do it, where we go up to the table and you pick the ship that you wanted to fly. The way you do it now, I guess, is you go into the
Okay, so
lobby and you just
when
pick
you
your ship,
spawn on
right?
the space station, you
Yeah,
can go to these
they've got
different
a name
terminals and
for it.
call up one of your ships
I
that'll be on
didn't
one of
write
the
it
landing
down.
pads.
Darn it.
So
But
you can
basically,
pull
you
up a
go,
constellation.
the
Roll
Terrium,
it because
something like that, and you go in there and you select the ship
and
off from
it tells us what landing
one of those screens, and then it tells you which landing pad
are.
your ship will
10.
be
There's
on.
10 landing
That's
pads.
right. And
So
there's
And you
10
have
landing
so
pads. Yeah.
and you have so much time to
stay on
get
that landing
there.
pad for a period of
Uh,
time. If you don't
they
get
didn't
in after a while, it'll
specify how
automatically
many minutes or
activate.
whatever, but if you
So
don't get there in time, it'll put
let's
it
get our
back into
merry band of brothers
your
together and head to
your
the
locker,
constellation.
basically.
Right. So that another person might be able to use that hangar or whatever.
Right, use that
Um,
landing pad.
yeah, that landing pad. Yeah. So I wanted to advance it to the point where they're out in space flying because my point is, let me back up to 35. Oh, really? Yeah, my point is that everything looks great. I mean, the graphics. I know it's not even finished yet. It's still in alpha, but it already looks really good.
The level of detail is phenomenal. These guys have worked hard,
Yeah.
and they're, like Chris says, they're working to put us a quality game, just not getting something out there.
Right. Now, he did mention that um, there's going to be hostile AI that's going to spawn in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like pirates or what have you, and that even happens. But he kind of implied that there's going to be friendly AI doing merchant stuff and just walking around shops and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get a chance to interact with those too, because I think he said we can interact with the friendlies.
Right.
So okay, so I want to after they go into a dogfight and repair a space station, which I'm kind of skipping over that. I'm actually, even though it's real important that they repaired a station as one of the missions, I want to jump to a 47 minutes in, which is when the constellation lands to get repaired.
Here
Yep.
come the drones.
and the drones come out and start repairing the constellation, right?
Right.
That's not what I envisioned Star Citizen to be. I didn't think that beams were going to shoot your ship and incinerate it. I figured someone would have to actually get out there, but I understand for gameplay purposes, something like this has to happen. Um, but when you look at the tops of these
Now we're going to
drones,
have a
they
more
have
involved repair
propellers,
Yep.
mechanic for players
and I'm
and
like,
also for the
Uh-huh.
NPCs when
You
we
caught that, huh?
yeah, and I'm like,
as the system
do
universe
you really need
progresses. These
propellers?
short-term
But I
missions
kind of
the
thought
first
about that for a
iteration,
second. I
which
thought about it, and um, they those propellers could be like gyros that keep it stable while it's doing its repairs, instead of giving it lift like a helicopter,
Right.
right? So, or it could be like some kind of electrical generator or something that it's creating some kind of electrical charge or something, because obviously you don't need. And but you did see smoke and stuff flying around, and really you shouldn't see any of that, right?
And like Chris said later on, um,
Yeah,
as we get into the full persistent universe, the repairs is going to cost you money. but
right,
I'm but
right.
I'm
But this
assuming
is
that for
just
now
for
it's
now. You
not
can
going to
have that.
cost anything. Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. Well, even if you get your ship stolen, all you got to do is log out and log back in and get your ship back.
Well, see, that's a question I had because they never addressed it.
No, this is nothing is going to be. This isn't. It's just for
I got,
test. It's just for play testing. It's
I
just
know,
for having a good old time.
I
You
know,
can
but I
have your
still
ship
got
blown up 100
upset.
times.
I still got a little upset there. The guys land their ship, they go in, and they're checking stuff out, and all of a sudden the pirates jump out, kill them all, then go out and steal their constellation. I'm like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show that. I'm going to show. But right now, I want to show the 4 flight modes. So I'm actually taking the video back. I got
Okay.
this like out of sequence, where he talks about there's going to be 4 flight modes. This is not counting jump drives.
Well, they call it 4 speeds of IFCS.
Right, because even jumping is going to be a 5th speed. Um,
No, that's the quant.
the
Yeah,
no,
that's the
IFCS is
no,
the
quantum.
no,
intelligent flight
jump,
control
no,
system.
no,
Or
jump.
yeah, you're right. Jump.
Jump is
Quantum is just for in system. That's right.
That's right, and jump is when you go through the wormholes or whatever.
Right.
Okay, so you got precision maneuvering, right? Uh, which
Right.
is which is like landing and docking and stuff like that, where your ships.
Mining stuff where you don't want to run into stuff.
Exactly. And then the space combat is what we've been doing in Arena Commander,
Right.
right? And
So
then
we basically have 4
Quick
modes.
cruise.
Precision
right,
maneuvering,
there's
which
quick
is sort of
cruise
the
and
low speed
quantum, which he
maneuvering,
said
takeoff,
quick
landing,
cruise
or
is
using
like
it
a
for intermediate
thousand
flight,
meters
like
per
close to
second,
space stations
Right.
or
where
mining
like
or
when
doing
we've
stuff
been
that you would need to
flying,
be
I've only been
precise
flying at
movements
like
and
100 or 200
control
meters
100.
per,
different
yeah.
things. Then
Well,
space
some of the
combat
ships have been
maneuvering,
going
which
out
is
faster than
the
that,
mode that right
right?
now
Like
that you
the
play in Arena
M50 or whatever. I
Commander,
think it's faster than 100.
which is
I don't
set
know.
up
I
to
don't have an
close
M50.
combat
Right, right.
in terms of
That's
speed,
but the
keyboard
Super
presses,
Cruise
and
is
then
like I think he said it's
Super
1,000.
Cruise, which
You
is
can't turn very
somewhere
much,
between,
and
well,
then
it's going to be
Quantum
really
is
fast,
definitely
and
straight
Super
straight
Cruise is
line.
significantly faster
Right.
than what you do at SCMs, about
Because what you
10 to the
do is
1,000
in your
kilometers
targeting,
per second,
you
or
pick the point within the system that you want to go to,
Hmm.
and you click on it, and that puts you, it engages your quantum drive, and it sends you on a straight line straight to that point.
Right, now that's the point I wanted to get at. On the video here, let's put it on the monitor. On the video, you see in fine print under quantum travel, it says the ship must achieve a minimum velocity before the quantum drive can spool up. In the demo, there's none of that happening.
Yeah,
Your ship's just sitting there, you're pointing in a direction, and then it just launches into quantum. But
exactly.
this is saying you've got to kind of build up your speed before the quantum will engage. So maybe the demo is just a demo. So we just got to, take it with a grain of salt and move on. All right. So now the next topic is the first person part, right?
Right.
The now let me jump to 50 point, or just go to 50. Hey, what the heck? And this is actually kind of a longer portion of the video, so I don't want to play the whole thing where they have the whole walkthrough and everything. But we can do about 4 minutes of this, just so people can kind of see the video.
Activated.
Well, there they go. That's
Right.
quantum.
That's quantum, right?
Quantum drive deactivated.
That's beautiful. Just
It sure
visually,
is.
just visually, I'm super excited about it. And yeah,
And this is what worried me when they did this.
yeah.
I was afraid he was going to come out of the quantum right into the rear end of that
Other one,
Connie.
yeah, might happen. That's
Yeah.
why you let one guy
And
go at a
this is
time.
the area
You know.
that will be in the first release. It will have sort of weapon drops and stuff. So if you come here, you'll be able to grab weapons and stuff that you wouldn't normally have, and then use those to shoot other people if you want. Or
Now-
defend yourself. Either one of the two things.
He mentions that there will be weapon drops that you can get weapons here that you won't be able to get anywhere else.
Right.
And that kind of implies like an
He did
arcade.
specify their handheld weapons.
It's an arcadey kind of gameplay style because I don't know, because there's guys running around with rifles. you
Yeah,
know, so
and that's basically what it is.
you think they brought those with
They
them?
do the same thing in Interstellar Marines,
There we go.
like I've been alpha
Yeah.
testing that, and a few of the other games. Call of Duty did it, where when you kill somebody, if you go over by their corpse, you can collect their weapon and you can collect their ammo.
Right, now I'm okay with that, and I'm also okay with something just materializing out of thin air. I don't mind that for the beta testing or for the testing, but when the actual first person,
This is,
when the actual persistent
one of our
universe comes
American
out,
that
I
was in the
don't
corner,
want spawns like that.
and,
Yeah, I hear you.
we can come around here, we'll see most of the
But for
folks.
testing, to give everybody a chance to use all the different weapons, and for us to be able to use all the different
There we
weapons,
go.
without having to go to
There
a
we
shop
go.
and buy it, I'm okay with that. Because to me, it's a game right now. I'm
Yep.
I'm helping test
Here they
the
come.
mechanics. I'm not really getting into my character yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. But it's still awesome. Anyway, look how big that landing pad was. When that Connie first flew in and landed, I thought that landing pad was a lot smaller than that.
So did I.
But when that pilot looks out onto the landing field on a landing pad, it looks like it's a big landing pad. See how big that is? And those guys had a long way to walk to get over to where he's at. To me, that's a good firefight
Well,
location right
now
there.
here's the thing that gets me right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're in space.
Yep.
They're landing on a space station which has no rotation going, but
Right.
yet they're walking with gravity.
Oh, it's because of in
Are
Star
they-
Citizen. No, in Star Citizen, there's this thing called the gravity generator.
Okay.
Right.
So they're saying that this has artificial gravity
Correct.
without producing a spin to
Correct.
make it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. There is a device somewhere that's the gravity generator, and they used to say it sends gravitons, which I think they've changed what they're gonna call it, into these plates in the floor that kind of pull you down like gravity.
Okay. That would make sense. That's basically the same thing they do in a lot of other science fiction
Yes.
movies and TV shows and stuff.
And it makes it easier.
Right. Instead of having something spinning, because can you imagine trying to land that Connie if that
Right.
landing
And it's
pad
sort of
was
like a
spinning?
command and control point. So if you come and you
Yeah.
control this area, you'll get missions and stuff. And so the idea is, when we have this running, people will hopefully come here. And try
And here's
control
where the fight's about to break
fight
out.
over the area.
Right.
So, well,
Right
there we
here.
go. Here we have some people do it right now.
Now I want
So
to
we
pause
have
the video here.
Four outlaws.
I think I missed it. Station recharging, station 54. Okay, let me back up just a tad. He said that
And
there
there's
are
a-
recharging
there's a
stations
data center in the center of
that
here
allow you to
that we
recharge your
activate.
energy weapons.
Oh no, that's at the
No, it's right here.
after these
It's
guys
right-
are all dead.
It's
There's
right
a
there.
red cross.
No, it's this thing on the right that says CCA. See that over on the right? The comm
Oh,
station.
okay.
That little box underneath there. Because when the guy walked by that, it prompted Chris to say something about it. Like, oh yeah, I need to talk about that. Because it's right
And
there
it's sort of
next.
like a command and control
Okay,
point. So if you come
because
and you
once
control this
the
area,
bad guys, the pirates,
you'll get
win,
missions and stuff.
Yeah.
So the idea is when we have
um,
this running, people will hopefully come here and
as
try
they're
and
heading towards the airlock to head out to steal the Connie, there's a red cross, which I thought was like the med pack.
Okay,
There
this
in
is
the
this is where it
airlock.
gets ready to say it. See, it's behind that grate, that fence on the right.
Okay. All right, I see it.
And there's some recharge stations for energy weapons there, and there's some ammo drops and various weapon drops around
You're
here.
talking about
See
that
that
cross
red
there?
cross? Yeah.
Yeah, right there. I think that might be a health, like a med, like you think a med pack.
Right.
I don't know. It might be a recharging station. That might have been. Who knows? Maybe that is.
Here, these are the outlaws.
But I think that's the airlock control.
Yeah, that's the airlock control because that's what they use to get in.
Yeah.
Now these guys are going out. This is what disturbed me. I was like, well, these are the bad guys.
Hey, did you
Where are
guys
they
kill
going?
all the Marines?
Oh my gosh, they're going to steal the Connie.
They could get the Hornet too if they wanted.
Yeah.
I guess they're gonna steal the Constellation now.
Yeah.
And did you notice that they're coloring
So we don't actually read
team shoulders?
Sometimes the Marines win, sometimes the outlaw guys win.
Because the guys, when they went in, the ones that originally landed here, the 4 that came out,
Yeah.
had blue on their shoulders. These guys are the pirates, and they've got red on their shoulders.
Okay. So maybe.
So that's how they're identifying.
It's all your bases.
So
Yeah.
when you go into your first person, you're going to have to look for those color indicators.
Like that.
Team-
Right? I
Yep.
didn't. I did not notice that. I just. I've always noticed that the red was on the bandit armor, but if that's marine armor with red on it, then that would be pretty cool, actually. Or maybe you can pick your color, hopefully, because you can customize your guys.
Right.
Okay, so that's enough of that. We don't need to see them steal this. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the star map, right?
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
They did some good work, and it shows.
Right. The star map, made by Turbulent, I guess, on the web. You can click on it. You can go to all the different planets. And just this afternoon, I was thinking to myself, I've done like 20 star guides for the different systems. I could just, that's based on what comes out on the jump point and stuff like that. But now with the map and with the actual jump points and where they lead and all that, and I could actually click on a system and I could virtually go around that system to the different planets and kind of review that with the audience. And I was thinking that I'm going to do a web series of a tour of the Empire, of me going from planet to planet, like maybe one planet a week, just to kind of go into details about that world specifically, or that system, and talk about the jump points, talk about everything that I can find in the in that star map. That's what I was thinking. But here, let me show the audience the star map.
And Turbulent and Gamerzone, who have been working with Turbulent in Montreal, have been.
And
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, we've sort of talked in lore a lot about a lot of the systems and a lot of the planets that you're going to be visiting, but we've always been a little cagey about how they all connect together and exactly what they are. So this is basically going to be your first look at the Star Citizen universe. So let's take a look. So this is exactly where you guys just left. So this is Crusader, one of the planets in Stanton. And if you pan around, you will see that we actually have representations of some of the locations that you were just at. So, again, basically what we've been doing is, this is part of the thing we actually mentioned, I believe on one of the 10 for the Writers, about talking with astrophysicists and stuff like that to try and make it as real as possible and use kind of scientific data and stuff like that to make it as believable and yet still awesome and cool and stuff like that. So this is a planet, but we're not just doing a planet in this game. So why don't we take a step back?
Do you want me to start by showing off the information wheel, or should we go to some of the
Sure.
systems? All right.
So each planet will have basically, each kind of location will have basically what they call the disk here, which will give you planetary information, which you can bring up right there, and also information on some of the landing zones that you'll be able to visit, and also options that we will get to in a second. You can bookmark stuff, obviously.
You can hear that he's nervous.
Basically, this is just going to be a way
Yeah.
for you guys to immerse yourself.
I think they
in
were all
everything.
pretty nervous.
It's going to be
Yeah.
pretty outstanding, and you can also have routing options.
Well,
that we'll
he
get into in
probably had a
second.
lot to do with this map,
But
and
outside
so
of that, you can now
he
see the rest
probably
of
feels
Stanton's system. So this is home to
connected
the
to it.
4 corporations
Yeah.
that have bought planets, basically. And so you have Hurston, ArcCorp,
and he might just not be a
Crusader,
public
and
speaker.
Microtech. Also, you have celestial bodies, and for example, and also you have jump points, so you can see exactly where these jump points are in position to the planets and stuff like that. And again, this is all we're still early
Okay.
on in this process.
Well, we don't
so
need to
the
go
stuff
through
will
that
shift a little
whole
bit
thing.
as we kind of
But it's really cool that you can go to each of the different worlds. They have almost every world that they are working on now is on the map. I'm sure there's going to be hundreds more later as the game progresses. But right now we've got probably 100 systems with 100 different worlds. I mean, it's going to be exciting.
Yes,
I'm
but
super
the thing
excited.
they wanted to point out was right now,
Yeah.
everything's taking place right there where they're showing at Stanton. The 38 missions are all right there
Oh,
in
yeah.
that one system.
That's right. They're right there by Crusader or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. And as they build more and more, it'll be super awesome. I
Right.
mean, space is empty mostly.
You can travel around them,
hmm
but there's nothing in those other systems yet. Just in the Stanton system is there anything going on, except for Earth, of course. So you can go to Terra or Sol, Earth, and interact there, or Stanton. Those are the only two you're going to be able to interact with anything as of yet. You can travel all over the galaxy through the wormholes and
I don't
jump
think
points
so.
and
I
whatnot.
don't think they're opening up any of the wormholes yet.
Well,
I-
they did in this. They did in the show. They went through the wormholes to Terra, Earth,
No,
or
that's
Sol,
just
Earth.
them clicking on it like on the star map. When you click on the star
Okay.
map, when you click
All
on the wormhole on the star map, it appears that you're going through it, and then it takes you to the new star map.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to open that up for our ships to fly through yet. I think
Okay.
that is
Then I misunderstood what they were doing. I thought they were actually flying
no. He's just clicking on it.
because he planned a route, and then they went through the jump points.
Yeah, he's just click.
want
He
to take
just
the fastest
clicks on
route.
it.
You can decide
Okay.
how you want to get to that system.
My
and
bad.
The thing that we had marked earlier,
Yeah.
with the routing options on the individual planets, if you've been
Yeah, 'cause see,
attached
he's
16 times
in
to Pyro and you don't ever
The
want to go to
map.
Pyro
He's
again,
not in a
you
ship.
can mark that system
Right.
so
You're right.
your routes will avoid it. So it will take you around it, so you don't get attacked for a 19.
And then I think
So
right
I'm
here.
wondering how the interface is going to go. So, because this tells you can plan your route.
So we've got a route.
You
We're
still
just
gotta
gonna
fly
go
there.
take some stuff from
That's what I'm
Crusader
saying.
to go to Earth, and
Um,
then let's plot it
hopefully
out.
they'll come out with an
this is our
interface to where
route.
you can plot
Now,
your
you have several
route
ways you can do it.
using
You
the
can
map
step through it a la like a Google
And
map
follow
type thing.
waypoints.
and then put it
Or
into
autopilot.
your
Yep,
ship's
let's
nav
take a jump
system,
with them.
Right.
This is the Magnus to
and
Ellis jump
it'll
point.
fly.
See, he's getting ready to click
And
that.
you can see this
Yeah.
little trail leading off of it.
Oh wait.
In the background. you
That's
can
where
see
it's showing the
Ellis.
destination.
You actually can see where it's pointing towards, the system that it's pointing towards, which is
The line is
really
where you
cool.
currently are to where your jump point is, and then that tunnel. There you go.
Yeah, he just double clicked it. Yeah, he's not in a ship or anything. He's
So
just
your next
he's just
system.
viewing the map.
And then we move on
Okay.
to Killian.
See, but that's cool. That is
Yeah,
And, and also, if you
that's
look at the
super cool.
system map, you can
but
see
hopefully
there's
you'll be able to
different
take from the map to your nav system.
Yeah, I think it is. I think he said this is the same system that we're going to see inside of our ship. So that'll be cool. But
Yes.
it should give us like points of how to fly there too. Hopefully. Okay, so um, I'm going to kind of glaze over the next topic. The next topic was they showed off the SciTech um,
HOTAS,
the HOTAS, the joystick, the throttle, the
or as
keyboard,
they're calling it, the suite,
the suite, because you could
the
get
HOTAS suite.
everything, right? And
Yep.
the real expensive joystick will actually have a digital display on it.
Yep.
And the keyboard has a place where you can put your phone or something like that on there so you can have other things displayed there too. And I was like, wow, that's all pretty
And the way it works is it all interlinks together.
yeah, they all plug
So
into
it's
each
sort of
other.
like a plug and play,
Right, right.
So you can just like get a joystick now and then down the road, get the HOTAS and then down the road get the keypad and you can just keep plugging each individual item in and going from that point on, which is pretty cool.
It is. It is. That's it looks cool too. I like the white and black and gold kind of look to it. I think that's pretty cool. Um, but I've already invested in the Rhino. But I don't know if I'm going to use the Rhino. I might use mouse and joystick, mouse and keyboard, or mouse and or throttle and mouse, and I don't know how I'm going to play. But
Yeah,
as of right
I'm
now,
gonna
I'm
do some experimenting
right.
to figure out.
In this Alpha 2.0 might be a good time to do that because we're going to be transitioning from flying a ship to jumping out and shooting a rifle. And if
Right.
that's the case, I don't want to shoot a rifle with my joystick.
Yeah.
I want to use my mouse. So I don't want to have like 15 different things here. We'll figure it out. And then the next thing after that was the referral program. There's a new program where if you're a Star Citizen right now, you have a referral code, and if you give that code to someone and they use it to get into the game, you will get rewarded, and they will get rewarded. So you'll both get. They will get
Right.
5,000 UEC, but you'll get a
A
referral
point.
point, right? A referral point, and then if you get enough referral points, you could actually get a ship.
Yep.
You could get like an Aurora if you get like 15 people to sign up or something like that. Yeah, I've
Actually, I got it right here.
okay.
Get to the page here.
Yep.
Let's see. Uh,
We hope to reward players who help build
for some reason, it's lagging really bad all of a sudden.
the way the program works is
There we go. Referral program.
when your friends
So
with your code,
the social medias is the big thing.
the item,
Um,
mechanics, and
the fact that you can just click on Facebook,
So
Twitter, and put your referrals out there is cool. The
Yeah.
You have invite, recruit, and rewards. Your rewards are come on. Oh, I think I just locked up.
and this is your community and web update.
Yeah,
The way the program works,
it just locked up on
when your
me.
friends, the latter does include unique items that can only
There
Okay,
you
here we
go.
go. You can get a Gladius for 10 people, a buggy for 5 people.
And also, you get the ranks that are to the left of the number.
Yeah,
So with one
private,
person, you
corporal,
become a
sergeant.
recruiter, then private, corporal, sergeant.
Yeah. Yep, yep. That'll be pretty cool. Now, I've already put my code on my live stream so that while I'm live streaming Star Citizen games, people will see that code, and if they decide they like the Star Citizen game and they want to join and they want to use my code, they're more than welcome to use my code, and then they can earn 5,000 UEC just for using that code, which, hey, free money.
Yep.
Okay, the next one is Admiral Bishop's speech to the community. I want to play this in its entirety because it's just to me, it's just super cool.
And that, just for those of you who don't recognize him, that is Gary Oldman
Oh yeah.
doing Admiral Bishop.
Let's play the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, this emergency session is called to order. Admiral Bishop, you have the floor.
For 200 years, we have battled the Vandal. We have caught these attacks, raids, or skirmishes or incursions. But I am here to tell you that we are at war. Tiber, Orion, Caliban, Virgil, once human systems are but abandoned in the face of the enemy. The Vandal are at our gates. Weapons bared while we hide and cower. Retreating as they burn and decimate everything around us. We cannot let the tragedy of Vega happen again. We cannot give the Vandal any more ground. To defend this empire, we must attack. And we have to be committed to that attack, whatever the cost may be. We have to rebuild our fleet. We have to use the power of human innovation to reclaim these so-called red systems and strike back at the enemy. This will not be an easy fight. It will cost us resources and credits and lives. Well, some of you may be asking why undertake such a thing, and I can tell you in one word. Victory. For if there's one thing the Vandal has taught us, it's that without victory, there can be no survival.
And here come the names.
Yep. Luke Skywalker. Mark Strong.
Okay, so that is basically a prelude to Squadron 42. And my understanding is Squadron 42 takes place before the persistent universe, like maybe the year before. So that you go through your entire Squadron 42 experience and then you exit that into the game, into the persistent universe with your character and whatever else you might have, any riches or ships or whatever that you might now have. Um, you got that in Squadron 42. Because you can take your character from one into the other.
Right.
So, but on the website, right, and the way the world is progressing, this attack on Vega just happened a couple of days ago, like the 9th or something like that, is when it actually happened. And the 10th was when this was displayed. So between now and when Star Citizen's released is when Squadron 42 is actually taking place. Yeah, and so I know it's a little bit of time dilation kind of thing going on. But my point is, this is what I was trying to get to. They showed the scripts from the different games that Chris has put out, and plus a movie script and things like that.
Right.
And the bottom line was, they said that they filmed 10 hours worth of cutscenes. Okay, so if you take 10 hours worth of cutscenes and put it all together, that all by itself, that is a very long movie, because most movies are only about an hour and a half, right?
Well, the
Okay.
numbers they put out, the first script they showed was 116 pages. Then Wingman 3 was 381. Wingman 4 was 416. And they didn't even say how many pages it was for Star Citizen,
Right,
but it was like a huge stack.
right, right. And my my thought process is, because I've played a lot of games before, and so have you, and okay,
Hmm.
our audience has played a lot of games before. When you go into a cutscene, it's about the length of what you just saw, right? So you're looking at a 4-minute cutscene. If you take a 4-minute cutscene and you break it down into 10 hours, that's a lot of cutscenes,
Yep.
right? And that's
Yep.
a lot of interactions. And those all happen between missions. So the missions that you play are probably going to be 15, 20, 30 minutes long, right? So if you take all those cutscenes and divide it by 10 hours, and then you input 30 minutes between every cutscene, you've got like, I've kind of calculated it out. It's going to be like over 100 hours worth of playing. So you're going to be playing a long, and if you only play like 2 hours a day, that's like 3 months worth of gameplay, and that's if you play every single day,
Hmm.
you know, so that's going to be, first, that's just awesome. That's just, I'm super excited to do that. My first couple of months of playing is just going to be balls to the wall playing lots of, lots
Yep.
of, lots of hours of Star Citizen,
The
Squadron
the
42.
nice thing about it, just what they've got so far,
Yeah.
um, in a lot of games, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this that have played a lot of games in the past, they're gonna say, "Yeah, that's true." In a lot of the past games, you get bored playing this classic character, you go start a new character just to break the monotony. I don't see that monotony happening in this game. I really don't.
Right, because you
It's
can
going to
do
be
everything.
something new.
Yeah, because you can do so many different things with just that one guy that you're
And
going to be
like you
able to.
said, um, yeah, you have your main characters, your main NPCs,
Uh-huh.
but you can talk to anybody
Right,
in the game as far as NPCs go. So even that crewman that's just standing over there doing some work, you can strike up a conversation with them.
right,
And I'm like, wow.
right, exactly. And you saw, I don't really talk about that in my thing, but when they start the tour, and there's a scene in the tour where he's talks to somebody, and these thoughts appear in the sky, and you pick the thought that you want to say.
Right. Your choices,
You have
basically.
multiple choices. Those are all like things you could say. It's kind of like conversation wheel that you find in other games, but it's just displayed differently. Like these are the things I'm thinking about. They're kind of like
Right.
bubbles over your head. Okay, so something really cool uh, in the tour. Okay, now when we talk about the tour, apparently, like you'll make your character in Squadron 42, and then you'll be assigned to the Stanton, and you're going to be uh, transported from somewhere onto the Stanton. Then you get to you get like introduced to the crew and stuff, and that's what this video is about. It's showing how you start the game basically. Um, but what I thought was cool,
Squadron 42.
Squadron 42, and
Right.
so this is what I took this away from the very beginning. There's a cool little shuttle that you don't see anywhere else. I've never seen it in any pictures anywhere else, except for now we see a shuttle. Okay, let me get to the video. 152. Okay. Oh wow, that's a long ways.
Yeah, it's almost towards the end.
Yeah, I skipped a bunch of stuff. There was some, yeah, because they talk about how they did the graphics for all the A-list characters and stuff, but we don't need to worry about all that. That's technical jargon.
Right. They're talking about all the facial shadowing and
The bone structure and the
yeah,
colors and all that stuff. It's really cool.
it looks
Go in and watch
good.
it, but that's above me, so we're gonna move on. Okay.
And this got me. I love this part
Because
because it took them just as long to load that as it does for me to load the game.
Right, and there it is, the shuttle right there. It's flying in, and then of course there's a couple of Idris right there.
Yep.
One of them being the Stanton. But
this is the new Idris design.
Yeah, this is the new Idris. Yeah.
And it's like
This is the real Idris.
double or 3 times the original size of what the Idris was supposed to be.
Now, looking at this video, right, I'm going to stop it right about there, I guess. To me, that looks like it's an Aurora that's been cut in half. Right? You got your Aurora cockpit. You got like a little cargo section. You got the 2 circles on the side where people get in and out. And then a little engine. It doesn't have the back part of the Aurora. It's kind of like...
the cockpit.
Yeah, it's just the cockpit and an engine. It might be made by the same company. Because if it was made by the same company, that would be logical because to me it looks a lot like an Aurora. You know, with just with nothing in the back. It also kind of looks like a deep sea submersible kind of thing. But
now this is something I like too. All right, they've opened up the landing bay.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Force field.
Yeah, force field. Just like Star Wars.
Yeah, for your atmosphere. Yeah.
Right, right. Because this guy's not wearing a space helmet.
This is you. Oh, hey. You must be the new pilot. Jeez, they really got you jammed in here, huh?
See his hair change?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they said it's still in production, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I got to forgive them for not looking at in the right direction, and the 2 people were walking through each other at one point. I don't care about stuff like that. In the finished product, sure, but in the beta, you know, I don't mind.
Well, like he said, this is just a sampling.
Right.
You know,
right.
This isn't what we're going to be playing on. This is Squadron 42, and they rushed to get this together at the last minute, right up until the time to go out and start the con. So, you know, it was a rush. It's not finished in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of glitches still in it, he said, and the facials aren't done. So,
right.
But it was just a tease for us.
And I wanted to go over a couple of things. One of them is the sleeves and how they're color coded for their jobs on board the ship. The white sleeves are for the engineers, and the green sleeve is like deckhands, flight deck. And then there's the red for ordnance and weapons, and I have yellow is the flight control. And so as we continue on, you'll see kind of that.
That's how you welcome
Yeah,
someone
but
aboard.
you know,
Not
red
if you
being
want to
ordnance,
introduce
I
yourself.
just hope they're not following the Star Trek. You know, the red shirts go down on
Oh
the
no,
landing party and die.
I I honestly think they're more. I think
I'll
they
head
took
into
the
engineering
list
and give you
from
the
the
tour.
modern U.S. Navy carriers because they all wear different color
Right,
jackets.
right.
Depending on what their role is, damage control or whatever. See, there's the thought process right there,
Tour sounds great.
where the guys, you choose what your thought process is. I wonder if it's timed. Like if you don't pick the first one right away, you gotta pick the next one, or is it just multiple choice? Um, you as a character, he walks off in the wrong direction, but that's to kind of show you
Old man hated heater.
this the splash shield it raises, which
I don't know because it flashed so
It'll
fast.
only take 2
yeah,
seconds.
I
maybe
didn't even
it's
have a
Wait for me
chance to read
backstairs.
them.
yeah, right. Well, the guy doing it knows what he's doing. Um, you as a character, he walks off in the wrong direction, but that's to kind of show you
Old man hated heater.
this the splash shield it raises, which uh, is just like on a modern U.S. carrier when the jets are
Right.
taken off from the deck, those shields pop up so that it doesn't knock people down or doesn't
Burn the ship, burn the
burn,
aircraft behind it.
right, or burn exactly. So I thought that was very immersive, very realistic. Um, I'm gonna skip a little bit more. We don't need to hear the whole conversation and everything. I think I went too far.
Here we go, walking around the ship.
I did. I got to back up. I'm waiting for him to go down or up the stairs. There you go. And okay, you can't see it. Dang it. I gotta go back. Okay, just gonna have to go in the door. But there's this guy working on a panel on the right-hand side. Right? It's just a guy. No interaction with him, but him being there just breathes life into the ship. That guy over there on the right-hand side working on
Mm-hmm.
something. It just kind of breathes life into the ship. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just little things like that that really um, attracted me. And then, you got the mess hall, you got your bunks on the backside, and he said something about the head,
The head,
right?
the head.
And then he shows you
Which
the
also,
engine
by
room
the way,
right
the address
there, right? And the engine room just looks really good. I'm going to back this up so you can see him walking the engine room. So he didn't even finish talking.
Kim's a great guy.
And he walked right through the wall there.
Yeah, walk through the bulkhead.
Yeah. But that's okay,
It's just a trailer. It's just a tease.
Yeah, yeah. They're still working on it. It's all good. I don't mind stuff like that, knowing that they're going to fix it.
Right.
Now, if this was the finished product, that would be a different story. But it's not.
This is me. But if you just keep heading straight on, round the bend and on the left is the briefing room. Check your mobile if you get lost. And feel free to swing by later if you get some time.
Guy standing there
Let's
looking out the
show engine
window.
room here if we can. That'd be kind of cool. That's actually-
Yeah. And Chris asked him to go back into the engine room to kind of look at it.
By the way, if you haven't figured it out, Morrow's the gossip aboard the ship.
Okay, and that's one of the engines. I guess there's two power plants.
So,
There's another one over
so
there.
this is sort of the level of attention to detail inside the Idris.
And you see there's a couple of people here. There was one across the way over here, and there's these two all
Which
working on the
also is, by
engines.
the way, the
There's
Idris
one right
Elba
there.
will fly in the persistent universe. And this has been built by Nathan Disley and his team at Squadron Foundry 42, not Squadron 42.
All right, and so that's pretty much everything. I mean, there's a few things we didn't talk about or we just glazed over, but there was a lot of good things to come out of the CitizenCon, in my opinion. The fact that they've kind of scrapped the whole arena, first-person arena idea, where how they were going to have like Arena Commander and then Star Marine
Right.
They kind of got rid of that whole Star Marine concept idea, and they went with, if you're going to do first person, might as well just put it straight into the game, and have, the security station or whatever. That doesn't mean that they won't also work on that as a side project, but they
Well,
put everything straight into the.
well, one of the things that Chris talked about was later on down the road.
Yeah.
He didn't, again, he didn't say nothing about any dates because that's gotten him into trouble, as he
Right.
said.
Right.
So soon,
Right.
but he talked about where somebody who doesn't want to get involved in the whole um, Star Citizen thing can like buy just Squadron 42 and do that.
Yeah.
It'll be available. But all of us that are backers and supporters and subscribers and all that, we have access to Squadron 42, Star Citizen, all that. We haven't got to worry about it. But he's talking down the road, new people coming in who, once the game is through beta and is out there, they don't want to get into a whole Star Citizen. They can just do Squadron 42.
Right.
So that's
Right.
pretty neat.
Yeah. That is, and I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about in the event? Not really.
The new dogfight aircraft, the Saber.
The Saber. Did I skip right over that? I
You skipped
did.
right over it. For $170. You can own one of these beauties.
Yeah, the Saber is at 118. 118.25 actually.
Out there watching this on the live stream. Okay, let's go on.
That's the referral.
Right.
Okay,
There it
And
is.
so we
there
did
is
say
the
we're going to have one
Saber.
concept ship. So it is the Aegis
Made by
Saber.
Aegis.
Right, and I've come to like the Aegis because I don't. Okay, the Hornet's Anvil, right? And
Right.
the Hornet, the the ever since I flew the Gladius, right, with that shipboard computer, the way it talked and the way it said target or you know power or whatever, just the way it's very direct and not, hey, there's a new target. That sounds like the Cutlass, right?
Right.
Well, in the Saber one is like new target, or something that's like super to the point. I fell in love with that. The way that it just speaks to me, right? So I've
Right.
actually thought about this is going to happen. My Hornet is going to go by the wayside, and I'm going to pick up a Saber just
Well,
because it's Aegis.
like they said,
Yeah,
the Hornet is the brawler,
right. So it's going to have more
whereas
armor, I think.
whereas this, the Saber, is a stealthier fighter like a ninja.
Right, and
But they wanted to have a counter fighter aircraft for the Hornet, and this is what they came up with, the Saber.
right, and I don't. I think that my play style is more of a brawler, but um,
I
but
love this aircraft.
it's just me too. It's just the flight control system that sold me. Not, and I understand it's got the 4 guns on it and everything. That's pretty cool. And I don't even know if it has any missiles or whatever. But who
Yes,
cares?
it has six racks.
Oh, okay, so that's even better. And the engines look like it's more powerful.
And
They
the two nose guns are size 3, and the 4 wing guns,
are size 4, right?
right?
Right, which is pretty powerful. Yeah.
And
So
then 6 missile racks.
yeah, so I am super excited about it. Now I understand it's $60 more than my Hornet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
$170
yeah,
for a solo aircraft purchase.
and I don't
Or
know.
you can buy the Armada pack,
Yeah, I don't know about all
which
that.
also includes the Idris P frigate for $2,500.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so that's cool. I am thinking about getting one. I'm gonna trade my Hornet in for a Saber, and if you haven't already noticed on our website and everything, it's like got all kinds of Saber pictures all over it already. So yeah, I think that's the direction the squadron should go, is towards the Saber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So okay, well, Aaron, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us on the stream, uh, and shedding your opinion and stuff. And we actually finished in a pretty good time. I got a little bit over an hour, so that's awesome. Uh, and remember, guys, if you're out there watching, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you follow me on gaming.youtube.com, you'll actually get more live streams. And if you're looking for a great organization, the First Naval Aerospace Squadron is recruiting. So go to 1nas.engine.com, or you can check us out on robertspaceindustriescom/orgs/1nas. Should all be in the comments, in the show notes, or whatever you call it down there below. All right, Aaron. Well, you have a great night. I'm gonna go fix the toilet, I think.
All right. You have a good night. I'm going to go eat dinner.
Oh yeah. All right. Good night.
Good night.